What is going on, everybody in Mac Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a speed test between the Redmi Note 9S and the LG G8 Thinq. Stay tuned. As you saw in the intro of this video here, this is going to be a speed test between the Redmi Note 9S and the LG G8 Thinq. And to get things started, I want to discuss the specifications on paper for each device. So with the Redmi Note 9S here on the left side, you can see that we got the Snapdragon 632 inside this device. It's an octa-core chipset and has 6 cores that are clocked at 2.3 gigahertz, and the other 2 are clocked at 1.8. And for the GPU, we're going to have the Adreno 618. This device in particular has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, the device is going to be running Android 10 with security patch of May 1st, 2020. And for the LG G8 here on the right side, we're going to have the Snapdragon 855 inside of this device. And for the GPU, we're going to have the Adreno 640. Now this device in particular is going to have 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. And the device is going to be running Android 10 with security patch of February 1st, 2020. So with looking at the specifications on paper here, the LG G8 Thinq had a little bit more RAM, more internal storage, and it also had a more powerful CPU. So as far as on paper, it has to go to the LG G8 Thinq, with right now having a score of 1 and the Redmi Note 9S having 0. So let's go ahead and get to the next part. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is the application open and RAM management test. And so what that test is me opening up the same applications on both devices to see which one can open it up faster. And then afterwards, I do a RAM management test to see which device can hold the applications that we opened previously better in the background. The first application we're going to open up here is Play Store in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is YouTube in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Redmi Note 9S. The next application we're going to open up here is Amazon in 3, 2, 1. LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Best Buy in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. Now the next application we're going to open up here is Facebook in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Instagram in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Twitter in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Sling TV in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Disney Plus in 3, 2, 1. That was a tie. And the final application we're going to open up here on both devices is Spotify in 3, 2, 1. And that goes to the LG G8 Thinq. So as you saw there, the LG G8 Thinq opened up majority of those applications faster than the Redmi Note 9S. Now let's go ahead and test the RAM to see which device can hold the applications that we opened better in the background. Play Store. Held by both. YouTube. Held by both. Amazon. I'm not sure if that was a refresh on both, but I'm going to say refresh on both. Best Buy. Held by both. Facebook. Held by both. Instagram. Had to do a refresh on the LG G8 there, but it was held by the Redmi Note 9S. Twitter. Held by both. Sling TV. A refresh on both. Disney Plus. Held by both. And last but not least, Spotify. Held by both. So as you saw there in the beginning, the LG G8 Thinq opened up majority of those applications faster than the Redmi Note 9S. While on the RAM part of the test there, the LG G8 did have a hiccup on one app, But because the LG G8 Thinq held those applications just as good as the Redmi Note 9S and opened up majority of the applications faster than it, it's going to have to go to the LG G8 Thinq. And so right now it has a score of 2 and the Redmi Note 9S has a score of 0. Let's get to the next part. So with this next part of my speed test here, what we're going to be discussing are the Antutu benchmark numbers, the Geekbench numbers, and I'm also going to run a speed test between both devices to see who can pull the faster data speeds. So the first one we're going to do here is the Antutu benchmark. And as you can see, the Redmi Note 9S has a score of 252,563. And unfortunately, I don't have a score for the LG G8 Thinq, but if you're a person that watches a lot of videos and you know about the LG G8 Thinq and the processor that's inside this device here, the fact that I don't have a number here is unfortunate, and I do want to say sorry for that. But I can guarantee you that the LG G8 Thinq has a lot higher than the Antutu benchmark than the Redmi Note 9S. But in the case that I don't have a number for the LG G8 Thinq right now, it has to go to the Redmi Note. Let's get over to Geekbench. Now looking at the Geekbench scores here, you can see the Redmi Note 9S has a single core score of 567 and a multi-core score of 1,722. While on the LG G8 Thinq we have a single core score of 728 and a multi-core score of 2,503. So with the Geekbench here, it's just another example of it being more powerful than the Redmi Note 9S. But the Redmi Note 9S is not too far behind when it comes to the single core performance, so that is a plus. But nonetheless, it's not a bigger number, and it does lose the Geekbench here. So let's get over to the Speedtest.net app to see which device can take the W in this category. So as you see there, the Redmi Note 9S got a down of 41.3 and an up of 19.2, while the LG G8 Thinq got a down of 33.4 and an up of 17.6. So due to a technicality, the Redmi Note 9S took the Antutu benchmark part of the test here. It lost to the LG G8 and the Geekbench there, but it did come back to claim victory with the Speedtest.net app, being that it had the faster download speeds and the faster up speeds. So as of right now, the score is going to be 2 for the LG G8 Thinq and 1 for the Redmi Note 9S. Let's get to the next part. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is installing applications from the Play Store here, some of the top applications, to see which device can install the application faster. Now, whichever device installs 2 to 3 applications faster than the other, they win. The first app is going to be Zoom Cloud Meetings here in 3, 2, 1. So with my speed test here, if a device is struggling to download the application, I don't give any breaks. If it struggles, it loses. So that goes to the LG G8 Thinq. And so the next app we're going to install here is Newsbreak in 3, 2, 1. Looks like we're having struggles on the Redmi Note 9S again here. And, well, the LG G8 Thinq takes this W. So as per rule, 2 out of 3. I'm going to have to give this to the LG G8 Thinq with a score of 3 and the Redmi Note 9S having a score of 1. Let's get to the final part of this video. So with this final part of the speed test here, I'm just going to be doing a simple restart, reboot for each device to see which one can power off and power back on faster than the other. Let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. Now if I got to guess, I'm going to go with the LG G8 Thinq. And that goes to the LG G8 Thinq with a final score of 4 for the LG and 1 for the Redmi Note 9S. Man, LG is still a pretty fast phone. So in the comment section below, which device did you think was going to win this speed test here? I thought for sure it was going to be the LG G8 Thinq, but I didn't think the Redmi Note 9S would get destroyed the way it did. And Math Squad, like this video here so that other people just like you can get a little bit more help when it comes to researching budget devices like the Redmi Note 9S and flagship devices like the LG G8 Thinq. And if you're new to the channel here, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any coverage when it comes to budget devices like the Redmi Note 9S or even sometimes flagship devices like the LG G8 Thinq. I do flagships once in a while. I'm mostly a budget channel. And last but not least, Math Squad, I need you to share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.